Now my new mission in combat sports that I didn't know I ever had to do was to clean up the sport, because the combat sports business is so dirty. And again, I've been saying this, all the fans out there, they need to know this. They need to hear this. If there's one thing to post on this interview, it's this. All the fans need to know, I know you love watching fighters fight and you don't want to know about the politics, but it's important to know what these fighters are going through behind the scenes, because we have to protect them. As a coach, I was a fighter in the past. I went through a lot of stuff and I failed in my dreams. And now I'm trying to provide value and make sure nobody else fails. As a coach, I take care of my athletes. I was with them on the day-to-day basis to see the sacrifices they make. And I bring that mentality into presidency as a combat sports president. I want to do good by the sport, and I need to clean up this sport. I need the support of the fans to understand we need to make the fighters' lives better, because it's not good. There's managements and promotions out there that are exploiting and taking advantage of fighters. No logical human in the world would have fought for $1,000 versus $50,000 in a year. They bullied this guy, or, I don't know what they did. I'm not gonna say they bullied him. They somehow convinced this poor fighter to fight for $1,000 today instead of holding back and setting up a career
10x
for himself.
instead of 10x a few months down the line.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
or at least 5x, right?
He's okay. Look, I told you the top 5 organizations on the planet for paying, right? And for viewership. Out of those top 5, who's going to sign a 35-year-old that's 5-5, coming off a 2 or 3 fight losing streak, all being finished in the first round for 5-5?
Well, Karate Combat is one of the ones right now. Like, you signed a Sam Alvey, no offense to him.
Yep.
But nobody else was really willing to sign him, right? So I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're providing some major opportunities here. Thank God we have the finances to take care of fighters and treat them properly. So nobody's going to offer this striker that type of money anymore. You know what I mean? He's not going to want.
Can I say a couple things real quick?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that, because it's wrapping up, I want to add to your point, which is that, when you see this lawsuit coming out, and this isn't against the UFC at all, but this is just the sad state of what fighters go through at the end of their career. The lawsuit and stuff. When you read some of those testimonies, Shane Carwin and stuff, I hate seeing the fighters who I looked up to when I was a lot younger, like without any aura anymore, without any money, to even a Nick Diaz, right? It's very sad because he's such a legend and he made such an impact on my life. For him to not really have much to his name is sad. So, and then with Masvidal too, I want to point out, because you're talking about the lawsuit and stuff. In my opinion, I feel like, if I were to assume, probably a misuse of funds, because you're talking about the jets and all the promotional stuff. I think that all in the back end came out of Masvidal's pocket from his management, I think. So I think that's why he was upset. That's just my assumption, though, but it's what it looked like from afar, was like a misuse of his funds. And then he didn't have very much, right? So I don't like seeing fighters getting taken advantage of, whether they're not getting much or whether their management also takes a lot from them on both ends. So I'm with you on that. I want to see the best for the fighters, and there's not very many people who are really, I think, speaking about it. I'm pretty vocal about it, though, like I just said.
There's not too many people speaking about it. It's getting frustrating, because, look, like I told you, I'm bringing my coaching mentality, and I coach with my heart. I don't need, especially now, I don't need to coach anymore at all. In fact, it causes so much stress, because I'm taking 10 flights a month, cornering people around the world, and juggling coaching and being karate combat president. So coaching is a lot of sacrifice in my own life now, but I always coach from my heart. You don't understand. Nobody's going to understand, because they're just hearing the words. They don't know what my wife and I did on a day-to-day basis. We housed these guys. We had the 15, 20 fighters living in the gym. We fed them 3 meals a day, 5 days a week. We paid for attorney fees to protect them from corrupt organizations. We paid for visas so people could stay in this country. We had people that learned English in the gym and made a life for themselves first in America in our gym, and now has built a life for themselves. Like this fighter from Pakistan, for instance, came from the mountains of Pakistan, came to America, lived inside the gym, got his English clean over here in the States, and now he's making enough money where he bought his mother a home. He bought his family a home. He has a car. He has an apartment now in Miami. He's made a life for himself. Like, we've done so many amazing things for so many athletes, and it's from our hearts. Like, nobody gets it. It's from, I swear to God, that I'm willing to bet my life that in the history of combat sports, there wouldn't be, I have to be in the top 5 in history in combat sports of somebody that's invested more of their funds into fighters. Like it has to be like 95% of my profits. Like all of my profits. I had just enough money to eat. You know, my wife and I even lived in the gym at one point. You know what I mean? There was a time where we had to move back to my parents' house, you know, like because we were investing so much into the fighters. So it's like, I love these guys and I want to bring that mentality into presidency and I'm trying to do things the right way. And it's hard. It's very hard to do things the right way because everyone's trying to destroy you, man. Everyone, whether it's one championship, whereas other promotions like this trying to disrespect your exclusive contracts, everyone wants to destroy you and stop you, and it really sucks. Because I, the more promotions in the world, I need to make this clear because I'm going hard on one championship, right? And I'm trying not to go hard on dirty boxing. I'm trying to go hard on Malki Kawa and the head of how they're running the business. But I love Mike Perry. I don't want to go hard on dirty
Well, it seems like
boxing, you
Mike
know?
Perry is like the Logan Paul of crime. He's
There you
just an
go.
investor, but he doesn't really, yeah, so he's the face of it because he's got some money to put behind it, but it doesn't seem like he really pulls a lot of the strings.
And from my understanding, he didn't put the money. He's the face.
Okay.
What, but he's a wonderful man. I don't want to talk bad about dirty boxing. This I need to make very clear. This is a big point. I don't want one championship to blow up and go out of business. I don't want dirty boxing to blow up and go out of business. I don't want anyone to go out of business. As a coach, the more promotions there are in the world, the more opportunities for fighters. That's great. Let there be, right now, there are more world class athletes than world class promotions. So, what does that do? There's a lot of undiscovered talent out there that potential world champions are starving. I could go right now to Dagestan and Russia and find hundreds of killers that are undiscovered, right?
Right.
If there were more promotions, they wouldn't be undiscovered and they could make a living in this sport. So I don't want that. I just want things to be done ethically, morally, legally. That's it. Let's do good business. Let's everyone do good business. How about that? Let's do good
Yeah,
by
I
each
think
other.
you
Why
guys are
is
peers, right? You guys, if you get
yeah,
along, it works better for everybody.
bro,
There's more business to get done, I think.
100%. And that's why when I started as presidency, this presidency, I talked to the owners and the ones that hired me, and I said, guys, I want to make alliances immediately with the UFC. I coach there. I coach a lot of UFC fighters, and I coach a lot of MMA fighters. I want to start making friends with certain people. So right away, reached out to the UFC. We gave them the content for free on UFC Fight Pass. Like we didn't even negotiate a contract. We're like, just take it. Like we just want to have a good relationship with you guys and show our our friendship. Same thing. BKFC. Talk to the owner of BKFC, Dave Feldman. Wonderful dude. Some of his fighters fight for us, and vice versa. If he wants to use some of our fighters, we can talk about that too. So I have a meeting with him actually in a couple weeks. I want to make friends. But when a guy like won championship, when I'm hearing that he pulled two of my co-main events now, and everybody in Thailand's telling me he's trying to destroy me. I lose my venue 2 days before. My show's going to be canceled. You're trying to destroy my business. Like literally, you're calling my friends that are signed to you, talking shit about me, and they call me right away laughing,
He
because
doesn't
they're
want
my boys. But
competition, it seems, based off what
yeah,
you're
man,
telling me.
that's exactly, and the way he's treating the fighters is fucking terrible.